So this week, I thought instead of doing new journals, let's do some projects that we haven't finished. Let's focus on cleaning up. I mean, the new year, it's just mid-September, end September. It's the 21st of September. So we're 3/4 of the way through September, y'all. That means we have October, November, and December to wrap up 2025 and begin again anew in 2026. So let's take this opportunity and let's work on projects that we want to finish so we can actually use them or sell them or give them away. So this has been a project that I have carried around with me literally for 5 years. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. I just didn't know how. I want to turn this is an old wallpaper book. I have a lot of the wallpaper still left, and we'll be using that in some projects. But it's an old wallpaper book that I thought would be really great to hold, what are they called? Stencils. Because it's really super hard, right? It holds wallpaper. So I thought, well, I'll just make a book. But now that I'm thinking about it, and I have it I have all my stencils in a bin, it's kind of like a filing system. So what if we were to put a spine on this and then put sides on it and make it like a ginormous, what do you want to know? What's the word I'm looking for here? Accordion folder. So, or something on those lines. So I have all these pages. So this is the front cover. This is art pages that I did a long time ago. And the back cover, or this could be the front and this could be the back. It doesn't matter. We'll cover it with something on the inside. But I didn't want to go much further. And I have all these pages that I had pre-planned. I'm going to put these down here because they're kind of big. So I had these pages that I was going to make. And they're kind of flippity-floppity. They are Tyvek. And they have acetate sheets on them. So I'm thinking, well, I can cut these apart and use them in another project. You know, make pockets or something out of them because they are really cool. I mean, this is a lot of my art pages from 4 years ago. And I've been carrying this around. And to be frank, I think I've done this on like several live streams. But they're very fun. And they're Tyvek, so they make really good envelopes or pockets or something. Inside, I've got all these Tyvek sheets and all these other sheets. These are rice paper and other papers that need something a little more sturdy. So I'll put these all in my art paper bin. And then we'll just cut this apart and repurpose this because I don't want to take the time to sew all this. I want to just get it done. And I don't think these would hold up very well, to be real. Even if I did make like a file folder thing, I think I need to do something a little different. Just because of the nature of the stencils. Words are eluding me today and every other day. Any day that ends in Y. And I don't even talk that much. You think I'd be okay? Okay. I need to find a home for these for right now. There. That looks... no, that doesn't work. Mother of pearl. Alright, we'll just put it over there. Because that's the general vicinity that's going to go. So I have this. This used to be a box cover from when I worked at Life Fitness. If you don't know, I used to work for a company called Life Fitness, building fitness equipment, and there is where I got my imagery that has been plaguing me for the last 5 years. But this stuff is like super hard. I mean, this is like chipboard on steroids, and then gone to the gym every hour of every day for the last 3 years. It's soup. This is basically wood. So it's got these folds in it, and I figured, you know what, we can cut along the fold here, make this into our spine, and then put fabric here, and then some kind of fabric on the front, you know, to make it like a envelope thing. Maybe we cut 2 of these off. Let's cut 1 off for now. And then we'll pick out our fabric. And then, because I actually now just had an idea pop into my head. I'm trying to get this other parchment paper picked up, but it won't pick up. Come on, there we go. So I love my sewing machine. I just don't want to sit at it for the next 18 hours sewing all those pages. And I want something simple-ish. So let's take this, line it up. So we cut in a relatively straight line. And I am going to have to use my box cutter blade for this. Is this going to be long enough? No. I do have another ruler that is shorter than a yardstick, but longer than a 12-inch ruler. We're going to have to probably move this over a smidge so I don't poke myself in the belly. There we go. So let's line this up again. There we go. There we go. And we're going to line this up. Move over, please. Thank you. You know what? We're going to have to line this up. Let's line this part up. So now let's just go ahead and cut where we have it. I have a feeling this isn't perfectly square to begin with. Okay. So, excuse me. Where is my knife? Here it is. We're going to use this guy. My clicky knife. And line this up right there. And this is going to take a minute. I'm trying to line it up with the, kind of with the lines that are on here. And then eyeballing it so we can stay as square as possible. And we're just going to score. And just keep light pressure, light but firm pressure. Gentle but firm pressure. How's that? And we're just going to keep on scoring. And we should be free now. That wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. That's kind of nice. Now we've got our base. And what if we took one of these? Let's see before we go ahead and cut this apart, because it stays nice and compact when we do it that way. What if, is this wide enough? No, it's not quite wide enough for that way. Well, you know what? We're going to have it go this way. So this will be the top. So this will go here. And then we'll have fabric that comes up the sides, down and around. And then fabric at the top. So let's do another one. So we got one for our thingamabob, our spine. And let's cut this one off. So let's do a quarter. And that looks about right. Let's do that again. So we're just going to score. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this can go right here. So it's out of our way. And then we need to find some fabric that we have plenty of. What do we have plenty of? Well, I want to do some upholstery fabric. So I've got some extra upholstery fabric from my last project. That's pillows. Here we go. This will work perfect, I think. That's kind of pretty. But I think this will go really well. And it's really nice heavy duty fabric. Now, if you don't have heavy duty fabric, I'm going to show you. Interfacing projects. So we could actually use some of these scraps if we wanted to. So it kind of blends in. So these all have, well, these don't have interfacing. I was going to put interfacing. Oh, there's this cotton. That would be kind of cool. Do I have any pieces that are big enough to use as the sides? Hang on, we're going to look. If not, then we'll just... Hands don't want to work. So I've got this Paris fabric that has interfacing already put on it. And then this fabric, it'll actually make a really cute journal, so maybe not that stuff. So yeah, let's take these two. Here's another journal project we could make this week. I bought these as a fat quarter many, many years ago, and I thought they'd make cute journals. And so I put interfacing on them back when I had an ironing board-ish. I don't think you know, honestly, I don't think I've had an ironing board in like 15 years. Like, that was my own. I mean, I've had access to one. I need an ironing board, yo. Give me suggestions for one down in the comments. Okay, so I might hit this with my sewing machine before we glue it down. But what if we did this fabric? Let's move this lid. And then we'll move this fabric. So we're going to be doing, let's do this way. So, yeah, which one's taller? So we'll put this fabric on the inside. Because I'm thinking I want to do, okay, that's what we'll do. All right, and then I've got this other foot. So that corner needs some love. And this needs some love. So we're going to put some, sand this a little bit, put some gesso on it, let it dry. This one we're going to take, I've got this piece of gold right here. This will probably work perfect. just about perfect. So trying to figure out, I want to use this on the outside actually. So what if we just folded that over and then put this, yep, that's what we're going to do. Because I want it to be able to open. So let's cut. I'm going to put some black gesso on here, or white gesso, whichever one I have handy. And then this we're going to glue down because we're going to have to wait for glue to dry. So we'll come back. We're just going to line these up. Like this. So they're about the same. There we go. And I'm going to get my metal ruler out here. And my fabric cutter. You know what we're going to do? We're going to cut this one first. So line this up. There we go. And then we'll use this as a closure. And if we need to, we'll cut it down further. There we go. We need to cut this one too. There we go. There we go. So this is 10 by 9, 9 by 10, whatever. We're going to use this as an element. Okay, let's put all this stuff away because we need to cut. We're going to glue this down to this. How long is this? Or wide is this? So this is about 10, wait, 24 and a half, so 14 and a half wide. So let's do this. We're going to cheat. We're going to fold it in half. 10. It's 14 and a half wide, so we want it at least 16 and a half, so we have an inch overhang on each side. That looks good. Straight-ish. I love this fabric. Lisa gave me this fabric. It means something special. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way so we can get our big ruler out. So we want to go 26 and a half, which is right here. So I don't know about you guys out there in YouTube land, but I'm kind of a design on a whim kind of person. So there's 26 and a half. 26 and a half. So I have it on the 10 line. That's why 16 and a half plus 10 is 26 and a half. And I have my paper stackaroonie thing, my file holder thing. I don't know what you call it. Paper organizer. All right. There's that. This is a scrap piece. And then let's see how wide this is. So this is 6 inches wide. So we want 2 inches on either side. So that's 10 inches. So we'll line it up with the 8. So we have a little extra room. Excuse me. And 8 to 18. Well, actually, we could probably do 12. That way it'll stay. I can easily stick it underneath my thing. Now that isn't cut perfectly straight, but it's okay. So we're going to do, what did I say? Goodness sakes. It was 6, yeah, 10 inches. So 12 plus 10 is 22. So that feels off. All right, hang on a second. For some reason, my eyes cannot focus on that part. So let's take a little Sharpie and make a little dot. There we go. I've had this mat for literally a decade. So if I mark it up, obviously it's not going to hurt me. And yes, I could probably do for another one, but I'm not going there yet. Okay, so we need one for the top and one for the bottom. Not quite cut. There we go. So there's the one for the top. Fold that up a little bit, put it over there. And again, we'll do 10. Line it up so it's straight as possible. And put our ruler down and cut. So I haven't had problems with my hand all day, and now I start doing this stuff. And it's like, nope, not today, ma'am. Well, you've had a 2-day break, sir, so you need to get with the business. All right. This scrap. So this, let's lay this out a little bit so you can kind of see where my brain is going. So this is going to go at the bottom or at the top, and we'll come up with some kind of closure for it. Probably just something simple like this. Sew something there and have a strip of Velcro that'll hold it. That sounds good to me. I've got some really wide Velcro, so we can adjust it however we need it to, you know, as fat as it gets. So I'm just wondering if before we put this down, if I want to stitch around it. Just a zigzag stitch. I've got kind of a mauve-y pink. Does that go? Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, let's do the mauve-y pink on these ones. Let's do that really super fast. We're just gonna do the sides that are gonna be here, just so it looks a little bit more finished. And then these are gonna wrap around. Wait a minute, right? Did I do it wrong? These are gonna wrap around. Oh, dollars to donuts. Yeah, I did it right. It'll wrap around. Doesn't have very much stretch, so we're gonna have to pull pretty hard. Okay, let me zigzag these real fast. So I hope you're having a great day. I have been deep in the bowels of my computer, having it do math for me, because I'm not a mathy person. I can do the basics. So let's bring the needle down and let's just zip across. We're going to back stitch though too. So let's loosen up the tension a little bit. Lengthen up the stitches a little bit. Widen them up a little bit. There we go. All right, next side. I mean, it's not too noticeable, but just kind of, I don't know, gives it something. I suppose I could do more of a sharp edge on it, but I don't want to. If I had the dual needle thing, I would have done 2 different colors. So tomorrow I'm gonna finish this one up. Oops, back stitch. There we go. I'm gonna finish this up, and we have a live stream in the evening on Monday nights, so we're gonna do that. And then Tuesday we'll start another project with another journal that I want to finish. And possibly we can get like 3 or 4 journals done in a week's time. That would be nice. And some of them are just stuff that I want to have around the studio. Almost fell off my chair. I just have this little bar stool thing that I sit on. And my pedal gets awfully close. So I feel like I'm standing on my toes, sitting down. I know, it sounds really weird, but it's true. All right. Excuse me. There we go. And there we go. All right, now we're going to take one of these. Oop, I'm falling over. And we're going to glue. Are we going to? Yeah, we're going to gesso these really fast, but I want to glue one board. So we'll take these and fold it in half and put it over here. Okay, so I'm going to take this board. We're going to glue it right here in the middle. So just to make sure we're middle, let's move it over to 10. And this should be 26-ish. There we go. And then, okay, so we come in 1 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. All right, just so I can remember, we're going to mark this just with a marker, just lightly, so it doesn't soak through. There we go. Yep. I'm going to fold this in half, put this over here, flip this over. I'm going to take, this is the pH neutral PVA glue. We're going to use this. I'm going to give it a good shake though. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Okay. So, crap. Oh, that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. I like moved it and I'm like, oh man, did I just mess it up? And this is going to be obtuse. So we're just going to try and squeeze it out. You don't have to use the pH neutral PVA glue, but I figured the less acidity that might keep the stencils from breaking down, because they will break down eventually. They are just plastic. So we're going to goober this up. And I might actually open this up and just give it a pour. There we go. That would have been faster to do in the first place. Now I'm going to take my fancy schmancy, most expensive tool in the history of the tools. Cost me $1. The only thing that's cheaper would be if it was free. So go to those garage sales, y'all. Find yourself a silicone spatula. And because this is non-porous, it's not going to sink in the glue is going to stick to this cover paper, but the cover paper is glued on really well, so don't fret. If you don't have anything like this, take a bunch of chipboard and just glue it together. Or they do make really thin panel wood. What's the word I'm looking for? Plyboard. There we go. You could do something like that. And I've got a lot on here, so we're just going to spread it out. Like so. All right, there we go. Make sure we get all the nooks and crannies. I'm going to wipe off as much of this as I can. I'll set it over there so it can dry. Oh, that's right. I brought all my rags down to the dishwasher. Or the dishwasher. The laundry room. There we go. Words. Words are hard. All right, so we're going to lift this up. And take this and wipe any glue up. There we go. Flip this over. And then flip this down. Just like that. There we go. So, oh, this needs to go down. One, two, three, four. There, just smush it down. Because we're about where we want it to be. There we go. Clean up the glue. There we go. It's so much fun. I have pillows made from this, and I'm just so excited to sew them together. All right, now we're going to let this dry before we do anything else with this. So there's part one project done. Put that up there so it can dry. Now, do we want the hard cover to be a hard cover, or do we want this to be more like this, and it connects to the top of the back and then comes over? But if we do that, maybe we should cut this in half. I think we should do that. Let's cut this in half. So let's line it up with 22 here. And then we're at 28, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yep. So 25. There we go. Get it kind of lined up. And then we're going to grab our cutter again. Excuse me. That's a scissors, not a cutter. All right. Let's do it. We're just going to keep scoring until we get to the middle. And I think we're crooked. So let's try that again. And just move the whole thing, but I think we're going to be good. Yeah, we're good. Just keep cutting. Gentle but firm pressure. Oops. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to try something here. Cool. Everything kept sliding around and I don't feel safe. So let's try a little bit more. Yay. Now okay, that's 3. So let's come from this side. Stuck. Oh geez. And ta-da! Are they even? That one's a little bit uneven. Let's do this one. No, let's do this one. That one's a little bit shorter and I kind of like that. I just want to kind of backer board, I guess. So we're going to do the same thing except for the way we line it up. Let's put this stuff away because we can always grab it if we need it. It's right here. Okay, one more moment. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Okay, now what I want to do is glue it to this edge, have it come up a wee bit, so it wraps around, and then I'll have it wrap around here. No, just have it wrap around, and when we get it done, we'll just stitch down this edge, and then it'll be fine. So let's measure this out a little bit. All right, we're going to have it come 2 up and 1 in. Because that's about where the other one, no. Let's do right there. Okay, so I'm going to mark where this goes just lightly. I went a little far with that one, but that's okay. We're going to put this up here, and we're going to do the glue thing again. Okay. There we go, nice and even. Let's wipe off the extra. Here we go. Put that there. Pick this up. All right. I don't have to worry about, let's do it this way. Lay that down. There we go. Oh, I got glue on my hands. Let me wipe that off. I think I'm going to hold off on painting with that gesso because I think I have something that will work to line it, but I got to wait for these to be finished drying so I can lay out the whole thing, and then we'll put one strip of fabric through the whole thing, and that'll hold everything together, you know, with our sides. So before we move to the next step, we need to wait for glue to dry. So maybe we'll bounce back and forth tomorrow. Maybe I'll introduce the next project tomorrow. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'll introduce the next project tomorrow, and we'll work on both of them because that way we can get more things done as we go along. So we're going to leave this to dry and this to dry. Yeah, it's still really cold, so it's probably the first time in a long time I haven't seen paper curl after it being glued with PVA. But this is paper technically, and technically it's wood. So, you know, we do what we can do. I'm going to put my needle in there. There we go. And I will see you tomorrow. If you're catching the live stream, it'll be next in the replay. Unless it hasn't played yet, I haven't done it yet, then make sure to click the notification of the next live stream. Remember, be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.